What is up YouTube, LazeeLlama here, and here we are back with some more supply chain idle to come make some more progress. Looks like we've made a bunch of stuff here, and I did get these to be equal, so we shouldn't have any really leftover anything in any of these, and all the stores should be pretty empty. We actually have some in the stock, but I think it's just a little bit of backlog. Yeah, that would sell pretty quick if we could make it happen. I don't know if I can make these doable yet. We have a couple 100 trillion that we made while we were gone, so we might be able to do it. We're gonna have to basically get this better, like these all better. Productivity, which I don't actually think I want. I think productivity is gonna make it, you need too many of them, but I think if we do like speed and upgrade, it's still 20 plus for only having a half of these. If I get that, that doesn't help either. We're spending a lot in that. I don't think that's the problem. When you sell things, so this will only buy. Oh, that's cool. So I can like check it. Obviously, I could buy more. I'm just trying to see if these could get usable. They can't. You can check all these. I mean, that's less than 0.1%. That's really neat. Oops. Rip. Kind of messed that up. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make anything better than what I'm currently making. To be honest, this is going to be hard to do. How much are these making per time, per cycle? 4 million? Okay. Yeah, so the little bit that's in here is like nothing. None of these have cheap upgrades that are less than that, obviously. You could buy up to 4 upgrades on that. Like, we can afford a lot of upgrades. I just don't know what I should exactly be doing. I mean, obviously making this is our best thing. I just don't know if trying to make one of these would be beneficial. What are we getting? Revenue is 34 trillion. Like, it makes a lot. But it's like, to do it right, we would need 20 of them. So even, I was thinking, if we even set up like a small scale where we just did like 1 and then, you know, one of these instead of when selling also help give to this, but it's like that just wouldn't be right. Like, you almost have to make these just massive. You have to make so much productivity. Look at trying to sell those to the stores. I mean, that's relatively cheap. I just want to see at what point we even get it below. That's pricey-ish. No matter what. Like, speed upgrades. I got the 15 there. And then the quantity, I don't think makes a difference. Like, whatsoever to the number. Yeah. I think it just makes it all worth more in the end. So buying this again, this might be worth to do. I might be able to make this happen. Like, even setting up one of these, you think of how much we're getting. This is how much we're getting a second. 12 billion. If we set up one of these, we'd be getting that many billion a second for just one of these setups. So I'm trying to figure out if I can do it. And I know this is taking up a lot of time to try to figure this out, but I think we can do it. Because now we only need 5. So I just need to boost. Oh man, this is harsh. Because 5 is still going to be too many because we need to make these. We need over 20 of these. But to do these, we still need 3 of these. So, yeah, let's just buy any upgrades that are that. Okay, so that just cancels out any possible little mess ups there. We still need 11 of these. So we've got it down. That's 11 of these, which means we would need still 3 of these per one of these. So we need to get this ratio much better to make this happen. But again, if we can make one of these, we're in really good shape. We're in much better shape. So we can do this. We can do this. We're gonna get this episode. We'll probably have to bounce out and come back after a little bit of time, but we're gonna make this happen because these are still same ratio, right? Yeah, I didn't mess that up. Yeah, okay. So I just want to make sure I didn't play with that. Again, make the productivity of this makes it so we need more. So I don't think we want the productivity. If I do productivity, again, we'd have to get more of these to manage it. So that's not the goal. And we can't really go higher on these quite yet. I mean, I could do the quality, but it's not going to help us. I'm mainly wanting these billions, 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 cheap trillion, relatively cheap trillion. And we could do that. So that's only needing a fourth of these to make this, but we need to upgrade this. Billion, billion, cheap trillion, cheap trillion, cheap trillion, relatively cheap trillion. And now we're needing 2, 5. Okay, and these only need, oops, to make these, we need 3 still. I think we can do it though. 5, that's a whole row. And then we'll be putting in 2 of these guys, which would mean we'd need 6 of these guys. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe. Give me a moment. I'm gonna try to figure this out. I might buy a couple upgrades off camera as well to try to make this a little right. But I'm gonna mess around with this. And I'll be right back. All right, so I've sold what we had. I bought a couple upgrades, got it down to where we only need a 1/6 of these guys. So it's kind of weird. And we only need half a store, remember, too. So we're in a good spot with that. But we only need a 1/6 of the cartons, which means we're just going to do 1. This is still 5 and this is 2. So right now we're going to be hooking up these 5 to this, these 2 to this, these 2 to this, which will then connect to here and give us 2 of those. So then we just need the carton thing, which is a carton, and we only need 1 of the log mills. So if we put the shop below, and then I just do a I guess a paper carton and a log mill connected to this, and then we connect that to that, that to that, that to that, that to that. We also got a percent meter, which shows you the percentage of product. So we're making like 100% production with all those, and then we start connecting things in to this guy, which is starts seeing this thing be perfect. Correct? Have apple juice production 100% 50. Yeah, and then we sell it. And we are now making a ton a second. It takes a really long time to do, but it's working. 100% and 80%. So we are making more of these than we need, even though we have 2 hooked up. So it must just be slightly over 2. Which means we're gonna end up getting a lot of extra stuff in here, I guess. Does it save everything extra? I don't think it saves everything extra you bring to them. Which means I could probably bring some to the store as well. I could bring a little bit each of them. So now we're at 90, so I should probably break that connection. That's not quite what we want. But we're at 35 production. We're making more apples than we technically need, so I could probably bring 1 of those to the store. We're still at 11. Let's see if we can take a second one to the store. We sold apple juice. 99% production. Alright, it can't handle that apple run. Oh. We do want to bring 1 of them to the store, though. And we're doing a lot more of the cartons than we need, so bring some of them to the store. And that'll be a little bit better, since it only needs half of one, so it should be at 100% there. This has dropped a bit. Oh, so that's half a store to sell. The store is overloaded, so let's just add actually another store in, I think, here. And then if we break that and we break, I don't want to sell anything directly to this. We want to hook things back up to it. Yeah, those are all still hooked up to it. I just broke from the store, right? Yeah. Okay, so anything extra that we want, oops, I just said I wasn't doing that. We sell to this store down here. So we get extra of those. We got extra of those. We have extra sugar. That's too much for this thing? Why is this so much? I'm just trying to dump extra product. Load is 200. Is it just the apples? Pretty much do it. Yeah, this thing's operating fine. So anything, whoops. I just want to sell that there. Let that thing do its thing. We have a bunch of extra stock there. So if I want to sell just to this, is that too much? No, it's 30% of the load. It's the cartons that become too much. So we had extra sugar, right? Yeah, we had extra sugar, so let's sell the sugar here too, which is not much of the load at all. And then I think we honestly just have to, for now, add another store here. And sell extra cartons here. And that's overload, but sell some here as well. No, because that overloads this guy. Screw it, we'll just add a third store in here. Those are still both orange. Jeez. These things aren't playing around. We still are producing too much. With just these cartons. The cartons aren't really necessarily bringing us a ton of extra, but everything should be operating good now. This thing's underperformance, and this thing's underperformance, but I'm okay with that. I don't think that's a problem, but we're operating here at over 100% efficiency, and we're selling 100% efficiency. This will be a lot better to sell overnight with, so I'll let this rack up our cash stack to massive numbers. And I will do a bit more of an upgrade before we wrap the episode up. I guess we're back. I said tomorrow in that last clip, and I meant like 20 minutes before I went to bed. That's kind of what I meant. But here we are. We made an absolute ton of everything. Everything should be selling relatively okay. Well, these have a lot in them. But everything's going good. We want to upgrade stuff. As we have so much, which is going to change the formula, which could get odd. So like now we need 6 of these guys. That was actually, was that a lot? I didn't really pay attention. They shouldn't change it too drastically. Okay, they're gonna change it a bit. We do this. That means 15 of these again. That means we have to upgrade the apples, otherwise this is ridiculously under power, which is okay. So we upgrade that. We upgrade that, and we should be back down. Not quite. We'll do this. Let's get this back down to the 5, but these are at 4, and we only have 2, meaning we need to do these. I don't know if we're going to have enough for it. If we do 1 of each, that gets it down to 2, but these probably need more. Okay. So I got to kind of do these together. I know we can do, if I just do 1 of each of those, it should go back to the same. Yeah. So that should be good. Oh, we're not enough cartons. I suppose instead of producing all this extra crap, I could leave the cartons the way they are. It actually needs 2 stores. So if I just stop selling to all of these, this will be 100%. It's a little over still. I could still extra stock. But then if I take this and sell you to there. Wait, why is that so much? Is it just because they have so much in it? No, that'll be better. So this is now 100% across the board. Just enough of that. Definitely a little excess here, which I probably could continue to sell somewhere. Maybe not to that one. That one's buying apples, right? Yeah. So you could sell out to that one. It's not doing anything. This guy's not doing anything either. What's it at? 95? I guess we can't afford to sell there. We can let these just sell off. Those might take a little bit to sell off. How much are we selling per time? Sell quantity. It won't take that long. We'll let all three of those, I guess, just sell overnight. Is there a point to connect them? No, you can't. But I guess we'll let that continue. I mean, we're definitely producing a lot more than we were just a minute ago. So I guess we'll let that go. And then hopefully next episode, we can move on to milk. Which, milk is just... looks like it's a thing of its own. You make 20 milk and you sell it. So we're going to be getting onto that, which will probably end up turning into some way to end up making pie, which was how we get into the next town. So that's going to be it for this episode of the Apple Juice Factory. That's kind of how our final factory here looks. I mean, obviously this would change if you change the ratios, and realistically you could possibly get it down to even running 2 apple juices on the same map here, by not really upgrading much other than the quantity or the quality, but upgrading everything else. I don't know if that would be beneficial to what you make per second though, but you know, we're gonna call it there. I think we're in a pretty decent spot. We're making a ton every payout. It's crazy. I don't really want to upgrade anything. I mean, quality's not going to do anything. Does that make the payout here better? I don't think so. Oh, there's your extra supply, by the way. I was wondering where that was last time, so I'm assuming at the end we could just move everything to a store and sell it. And these will, like I said, yeah, pretty much empty themselves, which they did. I guess meaning we could do something like, I know I'm wrapping this up. Because this is being used for app, yeah, so we need that, and then this is just excess, and you don't really have excess, so we have the excess shop there we could sell things to, which has technically over the load it needs. Yeah, we would need the shop, but I suppose we could just have like just an apple and an apple connected to it. I mean, one doesn't even handle it. Does it bring that up? It actually looks like it did. Again, if I sell these, no, it doesn't actually even come into play with anything. I don't think there'd be a reason to store an excess amount of apples or anything. I really don't think these extra spaces can be used for anything. I mean, maybe lumber. Yeah, let's do this. Throw shop down. We'll do a lumber, and then these just still need one of these. They need 6 stores to sell, though. So maybe I just do 2 lumber. Again, probably not really going to produce anything. We're going to overload it no matter what we put in there. Whatever. We'll overload it with a ton of lumber in the corner. Why not? Just for fun overnight. It's not going to hurt us. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.